Hey YouTube comic community, this is Jimmy the Geek Aficionado, and I've got a mixed bag haul. I say that because it's from a couple of different stores. I guess that's really not much different than what I normally do, but I got a little, side story on this one. Found a new shop they don't have a pull, right? They don't sell new books, so it's kind of like a toy store, vintage books. Well, some vintage books, but anyway, fact of the matter is they sell comics. Checked them out, went in there, saw that they had some really cool Golden Age books, up on the wall. And he was engaged with another customer, so I went looking around. And when looking around, I found these. I found Batman 393 that I could cross off the list. And that was, it's like a $5 book, right? So, pretty cool. And I also found this copy of Batman 397. Now, for those of you who are knowledgeable would know that this is not the first print. And the reason we know it's not the first print is because this down here says DC Comics aren't just for kids. There's no barcode. There's no regular Batman symbol on it, kind of like the Marvel has the Spider-Man head. But yeah, so that is I want to say it's a second or third print. I don't quite recall, but you can easily find out by popping open the book itself. Oh, my bad. This is actually a fourth printing, as you can see right here. So, printings of 80s books, multi-printings of 80s books are rare in some cases. They don't always come up, so they can be very collectible. This one, it doesn't really have any value other than that, but at least, to me, it's interesting and it has some value there. And let's see. Also came across this guy right here. I should say this girl. BATGIRL #1. It's a nice, clean copy. It's just got like a little spine color break right there. Better than the other, copy that I had. Much more of a reader copy. So I've got a nicer copy now, so I'm happy with that. Still haven't had a chance to talk to the guy, but asked him if he had any G.I. Joe books. And wouldn't you know it, sitting in a box for $3 is this guy. Those of you who aren't aware, that is G.I. Joe number 32, the first appearance of Lady J. Lady J has been greenlit to have her own movie or show or something like that, and this book has been climbing ever since. Now, I'm trying to put together my G.I. Joe run, and I don't want to overpay for a book, that I'm just going to read, because, yeah, most of these G.I. Joes, have first prints and first appearances. Pretty much all over the place in the first, 40 issues. So at least I got that for $3. It's in great shape. It really is. Cleaner press is probably definitely in the 9s. And I found this one. And I don't remember what the significance of this one was. I do remember that it is some kind of key, I think. I'll put it down below. And, I got that one also for $3. So, anyway, so the guy's done talking. I'm talking to him. I'm like, hey, going back and forth, talking about some stuff. I also got some great books that I put up on my Instagram page that have already been sent out to CGC, which was an Evil Ernie #1. I found in the back issue bin a Batman 656, first Damian Wayne. I found a Iron Man 252, first War Machine. I think it's 252. And I found a Transformers #1 in the back issue bins for $40. And it's definitely, like a 9.0 859 copy. So all those are already on their way to CGC. I talked to him, you know, later that evening, asked him if he was interested in trade, told him what kind of stuff he was looking for. I brought him a bunch of, you know, a stack of Spider-Mans and everything, what I had priced out. Bring him in, talking to him, you know, he's like, hey, how'd you price these? And I said, priced them off of Overstreet. And he's like, wow, yeah, that's always way too high. Which I thought was interesting because Overstreet, to most people, is always way too low in comparison to what market values are. In comic book prices, what they have been just, you know, screaming up. Overstreet never keeps pace with that. So I thought that relatively they were generous. He did not. So he looked up whatever their last sold was on eBay, in what condition he thought they were, told me that I was 30% too high. I said, okay, well then what does that look like? And he goes, well, I always give, you know, it's 30% too high, so now we've got a price to work with on the bundle. And then he says, and I'd only give 60% of the value for trade-in. After that point, we were pretty much done. So comic book store owners who are watching this, understand that if you're asking for us to bring in something that you believe is a high commodity like Silver Age Amazing Spider-Mans, it's probably a good idea not to spit in our faces on the values. If we're going out of our way and bringing you something we know that you could sell for probably double whatever it was that we put onto it in the first place, so that you can get it for a song and make us pay out a ton of money, right? Because let's be honest, in this day and age, we're no longer stupid. We have a lot of resources to look through. So keep that in mind when you're dealing with your customers, especially people who are knowledgeable in the comic industry. And just remember that. So I did not walk out of there with the Golden Age Wonder Womans that I had intended to, but I did leave and I did sell most of what I had brought him for the prices that I was looking for. So I've got money and he doesn't. So I spent a couple of bucks and I got this nice G.I. Joe 48, first appearance of Sergeant Slaughter. If you don't know who that is, you need to be knowledgeable too. And this gorgeous copy of Terminator #1, first appearance of Terminator in comics, and this is definitely a 98 candidate, so happy about that, even if I wasn't happy with him. Now, this is a bit of a key haul from my LCS, so some of the stuff I was sitting on for a bit, and we'll get into those, but he's cool about it because I do a lot of work for him. So I've got Jungle Action #1, and this is a nice, you know, relatively high-grade copy. This is 8.5 or better, featuring Lorna, Queen of the Jungle, Tharn the Magnificent, and Jan of the Jungle. So these are just like really cool jungle adventure tales that Marvel did, and this series dovetailed issue #6 into being a Black Panther series before he got his initial first solo title himself. And then we've got Jungle Action #2, and this was the last issue I actually needed to finish off my Jungle Action run because I already had a couple of copies of #1 in there. But like I said, I like the jungle titles, and I was able to get this as well. Rima the Jungle Girl, first issue collector's item from DC Comics. Also just great shape, but again, what can I tell you? I dig the jungle titles. All right. This definitely needs a press, and I don't remember what the grade is, but it's still high grade. It just needs a press. It's probably like a 9.2 or better. Sheen Man #1. Digging that nice Bronze Age goodness. We've got not one, but 2 copies of John Carter, Warlord of Mars #1. Now these aren't, you know, high expensive or anything like that, but they are fun books to have. You got John Carter, you got Deja Thoris there, fighting off, you know, a bunch of other crazy looking Martians, all savage Mars back in the day. Again, not one, but 2 copies, cherry high grade copies of Rom Space Knight #1. you know, they're not, I wouldn't say that they're not really expensive, but I gotta be honest with you, I think that there's definitely a market on these. I'll probably keep one and move another one along, you know, after they're slabbed, because that's the better way to sell. But, you know, who knows? All right, so these last 3 books, super nice. We've got Amazing Fantasy #1. And this is the first appearance of Aranya, which is I want to say she's a South American teenager with some spider and gadget powers. So, got that for a really good price. Yeah, it's a high grade. It's, you know, it's a slab candidate. We'll see where that goes, right? Because a lot of these spider books are still heating up. Vengeance of Bane #1. Again, 9.6, 9.8 candidate. Both of them sell for a really good price. I just got a 9.8 slab myself, so this will definitely probably be for sale. You know, like, I don't know if this book is going to go up any more than just, you know, in general going up. It's a great modern Batman villain, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, slab prices on that high grade, definitely up there. And then this last one, we're going to take another stab at a high grade. I've got a 9.4 of this, but I want a higher grade copy if I can get it. This is Marvel Superheroes #8. It doesn't have a number 8 on it, but it is definitely number 8. It's from Volume 2, Marvel Superheroes Winter Special, featuring the X-Men, art by Eric Larson. This is the first appearance of Squirrel Girl. Now, if you haven't read this, the interior art it's not awesome. There's a lot of stories in there, but, you know, like the Squirrel Girl one, it's just a terrible story. But, you know, it's 90s, right? Came out winter '91, but still a big, you know, a big Marvel modern key to have, right? And in, you know, in 9/8, you know, it goes and it's several $100s, so it's a good investment for the price that I paid for it. So I was happy to get that. That's all I got. Thanks again for watching, for click and play. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and we'll catch you next time.